6 going to be really explosive. Any shutdowns that can happen from Moham could turn the tide in OMG's favor for sure.
I think it's two-folded as well. You've got Moham and then you've got Rio with
Only going to try to set their sights on taking those. Junhao hopping over some walls here, putting the pink down. But seeing that this dragon is not in the pit and has been secured. Flash. Harry, a couple hundred HP, will be able to survive sans Flash.
Feather is looping around. They have swapped the spellbook to ignite. They can cancel this recall.
Oh, here we go.
Or just go for the solo.
Forward, the knock up, the ignite. No way! Harry gets it done and survives. A huge gaff by Feather.
These grub fights I expect to be very bloody.
Here we go. We go right on top of Rio. Survives for the moment, trying desperately to escape, but he will go down. Down goes the Braum on top of it. It's a 2-0 for Thunder Talk, and they're going to secure those grubs.
Hello, Harry, just leaning around the corner, picking off Ryan. A lot of damage going down, but it won't end up leading to anything as they are chased away by the beefy boys of Thunder Talk.
Really great stuff there by the last series where some of their fights were very disconnected. I mean, you see there were 2 members on the grubs and 2 members who were closer to the lanes. Hold that thought for a moment as we do see an ultimate drop by Starry here. Rio is going to come over. They are going to clean up Keshi 30 seconds before this dragon.
Really?
Complete purchase of this river to start up that dragon. We'll see if OMG wants a piece of it. I really don't think they should. I think you should just allow your soul inners to scale up, but Rio getting a little too close. They drop the exhaust on him. He's forced to flash away, but Junhao going to go right after him. Then they are able to burst him out. Feet of Warfare for Thunder Talk. Big charm coming down onto Moham. Harry's trying to do anything that he can. He's going to take out some big chunk damage, get knocked up.
He zones off any defensive play to keep the jungler alive for OMG. Will result in the pickup of the dragon.
To how Thunder Talk have been playing on the side lanes outside of Keshi's early death. Haru has been playing quite safe. Hold that thought for a moment. As we're going to see a bit of an engage here. We're going to turn all the way on to Haichao, but he is a little thick. There's that bullet time coming down. It's going to do a good amount of damage to Moham, but here's Harry on the side trying to force away Ryan, but now he finds himself completely alone. Warping Rio in. Grim Deliverance lands flush. Harry is still alive, trying to get that revive. He's got it up as well, but he's not even going to need it, as OMG are running Thunder Talk off the map. A 3-0 fight, and the Herald will be there.
We need both the dragon and a tower to secure this feat. They know that Thunder Talk only need to get the tower and they'll have it, as now they're calling the play Hero TPing in.
Alright, Moham doing a good job of trying to stay alive. The Supreme Display of Talent only hits Rio. Knock up onto Feather. He's very low. Grim Deliverance doesn't land onto anybody, but Harry is looking to get his passive fully stacked. He's got it. Keshi trying to get some priority targets in the back line, but he falls. Harry's going to be the next target. Charm is there, and here comes that Realm Warp. Multiple players in. Feather will fall. Harry will fall next, and Junhao has to slide out using those Hex Tech gates. It's another disaster for Thunder Talk as OMG will take the dragon.
Rift completely falling out of the favor for Thunder Talk on what was such a dominant early game, but Junhao is alive. They are on a ward right now, fishing to hope to pressure this dragon away, but Moham doing a great job, staying over the wall, mainly just being that extra vision, that extra marker to make sure Kiana doesn't go for the big contest. And I love that we just talk about how significant these ultimates can be, and we see Haichao really leveraging it to collect 2 kills on that fight, as we do see a TP to flank him now in the bottom lane. No Realm Warp, no TP, this is all Keshi.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make this play, right? You have to get something out of this. Try to take out Haichao. OMG's been so good on the side lanes here. Teleport coming in from Harry to try to save Haichao, but I think he's gonna be dead to rights. Now Harry finds himself in a 3v1, but he has friends coming up the rear. Ryan's in big trouble. Feather's been locked down, and you can't stop Harry. Big knock up from Keshi as Haru now joins the fight, but it's fully in control of OMG. Junhao getting poked just a little bit. Now all of OMG sans Haichao are here. Otacon is on the map. Doesn't look like it'll be started.
I don't think it's worth to take a play here from OMG. You've got out like bandits after that one, losing 1, but you pick up 2, and the one that dies is the Rise, who can rotate over a lot quicker than everybody else off base, as it looks like Thunder Talk actually saying, all right, we need to force something here and now. We have lost the feats of warfare with this bot lane tower falling, as now Heru and Harry having
from
a
Heru,
skirmish.
but he had to walk into melee range. There's that Grim Deliverance, and now Harry with a nice flash. They're trying to turn this around. Big double knockup from Feather. Heru desperately trying to escape, trying to pump out everything he can, but he falls to Starry. Starry untouched, finds a double kill, and you know he's going to want to top it off for a triple, but Rio's going to take that one away. Health bars are low, but no one to stop OMG, and Otacon is
I want to give flowers to Rio, who in that play used the first Grand Starfall to land behind the team fight and keep Junhao away. As now Moham getting picked off. Beyond that, not going to result in too much, but because the Kiana could never group up with the team, we didn't get to see a big play with that ultimate, which could have really swung the fight back into Thunder Talk's favor.
You wish that Baron was spawned, and if we were in 2026, it would have been up for Thunder Talk to maybe try. Instead, you'll be able to get that top lane tier 1 and get some objective bounties into your pocket.
As the game goes on with just a lot of miscellaneous plays aggressing on the top laners here.
They're really going after Keshi, forcing his ultimate out. Big cooldown bullet time going to have to be used on that mid lane turret. They want to try to conserve any health on that turret while they go and get bottom tier 1 themselves. So Thunder Talk doing a nice job there to try to bring the gold back in their direction. Rio and Haichao.
OMG knocking down another top lane play, and guess what? Realm Warp can be used to just leave at any point. No area for a longer team fight play kind of build. No Liandry's anything opting towards that. Going for... It feels almost like down the middle. Listen, I'm no Ahri build expert. I'm not that guy. But this doesn't feel like it's conducive
over 2,000, that's starting to creep a little under that. Use some Hextech portals here to try and take over the bot lane of Thunder Talk as the knockup goes on to the Scion. The exhaust as well. They are certainly hitting him. They're not really doing damage, but they're hitting him.
The world's slowest pick I've ever seen, as now Rio forced to flash away. Heru joining the team fight.
Oh, yeah. Rio just went in way too hard, and he goes down. It's Ryan picking that one up. Harry teleports in.
Varus just killed Alistair off the screen there. Hold up a minute. Feather getting dropped by the Varus ultimate. Using his own, I have no idea how he was able to do that one, but I think it makes a bit more sense now why we had Harry TPing in, as it almost looked like it was going to be a bigger play than it was, as now, I like this from Thunder Talk, trying to do anything they can to pick off Haichao, who doesn't know there's 3 people right here.
It was really nicely done, but a nice sidestep from Haichao. As Harry says, yeah, I'll dash in. I've never met a fight I didn't like with the supreme display of talent. Lands flush, Grim Deliverance, he's still alive. He's starting to get to that pass.
Oh, good pickup.
Finally fall. Haru picks it up, and now he's between a rock and a hard place with the bullet time. There's no bomb to protect it on the backside, and Thunder Talk win the fight.
Absolute cataclysmic failure from OMG to overcommit.
To get in here. This Baron is very, very slow. Down to about 4,000 HP and getting lower. Moham just trying to run interference, but here comes Harry, here comes Starry. Thunder Talk coming in as well. Moham a little too early, takes a big chunk out here. The Baron is secured by Thunder Talk and going all the way in as Rio. Now the question is, can Thunder Talk actually escape? But Haru says, no escape needed, I want in. He's not going to be able to dash away, but he will be able to save the rest of his team. It's a 1-for-1.
Ultimate used from Heru, no Malignance. I think that's a bigger loss for Thunder Talk when it comes to trying to posture for this team fight. They need to wait the 60 seconds or so for this Ahri ult to be available compared to Haichao, who really doesn't care that much when it comes to the actual damage, the actual scrapping. And you see, he cares so little. He's going to aggro the dragon, pull it out of the pit, as now do or die moment. This is a Hextech Soul. Junhao can get in the back of the pit here on the Kiana. They are fishing for the steal.
Alright, he hops over. He's got to make this happen in order to get Thunder Talk in, but they push Pantheon all the way out and secure it. Moham on the backside is going to fall. Supreme Display of Talent stuns a couple members, but now is Harry going to take over the fight? He does have that ultimate, or I'm sorry, that passive in the back pocket, but he's not even going to need it. Junhao said, I am running away. Haru able to slide away just barely. Keshi will fall. It's a double kill for Harry. Haru not going to be able to land the charm, so Harry is going to be able to continue his onslaught. You're kidding me. I haven't played World of Warcraft in a long time, but even I hated all those different phases. We're seeing Rio drop down his ultimate on Takeshi here. Again, very muted usage of the Pantheon ultimate, but it looks like they're going to be able to get a kill on Takeshi. It's just a matter of how long is Keshi going to be able to delay them, to allow the setup for Thunder Talk to get some wards and get some positioning here, as Haichao will clean this one up.
Ooh, and by taking a bit longer than
easy
otherwise...
access to him. He has his Guardian Angel now, full build on this Misfortune, so we'll be able to at least survive through any aggression as this Baron has been started up, and it is getting ripped. Harry is in the bottom side. He will have a teleport available. Haru going to land the charm onto Rio here, but not everybody is going to go for him. Feather couldn't get the knock up, and now he's going to get rooted backside. Hai Chao blows up a man. There's a bullet time. It does a lot of damage, but Hai Chao's doing a lot, and here comes Harry. Grim Deliverance, but he's the only one right now with a couple of angry Thunder Talk members, but they're getting a lot less angry because they are falling. Ryan is going to fall next. We've got another revive coming through. Everybody's got some resurrections. Starry, no summoners, still alive. They forced Thunder Talk off the Baron.
And there were basically two separate fights happening right there. There was Harry and the rest of the OMG squad versus the Starry. That's beautiful. Starry's GA. Make sure nobody's threatening him on the respawn. And it will be resulting in OMG picking up the Hextech Soul with a poke Varus.
Because of a nice flank from Hai Chao. Feather is flashless for this next fight. It is important to keep in mind. So you're not going to have those snap engages out of the Alistar, which means the fight is inherently going to go a bit slower. Moham looking for a knock up here, but Kesha's going to use his ultimate to buffer it. This Baron is going down. Hai Chao dropping the Realm Warp there. It's a fake out. Knock up coming through as Rio can't get in. Baron secured for Thunder Talk as they're trying to heal up, and now they're going to attack Hai Chao on the backside. Supreme Display of Talent didn't land. They're trying to blow him up, and they are going to be able to do so. He doesn't get a kill in return. Thunder Talk trying to
revive.
There's that Guardian Angel in the middle of the Grim Deliverance, which means that Haru has to back off. Keshi will fall. Ends up being a 1
to avoid getting popped by Junhao quickly. Doesn't matter, as now we look to the play on the map. It will result in finally getting this tier 1 mid away from Starry, that bastion that the Varus was using to layer down so much poke, so much safety. And suddenly, just losing that one tower can be enough to sway
how... On the top side, there's a big flank ward on the backside. Something to keep in mind as OMG are looking to retake their jungle. Rio trying to move in, clear out as much warding as he can, as the top tier 2 will fall. Thunder Talk making good use of their Baron.
Suddenly the siege starts to become quite threatening, as now we have 30 seconds left on the Baron buff. Can Thunder Talk use it to knock down another tower and really take away a second bastion on the map for OMG?
Something to note, Ryan is now on 100% crit. That GA is not up yet, and now we're seeing flanks come through. Rio going to show up immediately, try to get on Ryan, but he falls. Harry has to do something. The bullet time gets interrupted with the knockup, but they didn't go after Harry.
He's down.
Harry is just fine. It is looking to stack up that Cultivation of War. Hai Chao gets bursted out. Cultivation of War is stacked. It's up to Starry and Harry now. Harry to the back line getting interrupted as Junhao is able to escape. There's that Cultivation of War passive getting popped, but there's a well-timed knockup into a well-timed charm into some more knockups. Harry trying to sustain, but he won't be able to. Now it's the GA, but Starry and Moham cannot join. They are locking up Harry, locking all windows and doors. They freeze him out, and Thunder Talk has the advantage.
Expert MMO gameplay from Thunder Talk, spacing out both the respawns. So devastating for Harry to lose both of those revive cooldowns. Hold on a minute.
He got rooted up. That's big damage, and he's bursted out.
Will that be enough to stop the play? It looks like the follow-up Q onto Heru will be too much. It dissuades pushing for further, but sorry, they are definitely still lurking. I see the GA on Varus, though, so going in for a counterplay is quite the spooky prospect with the Elder Dragon up in a minute. The passive at this point, level 18, it's down to 2 minutes, so he should have it back up by the time the Elder fight happens. So now it is about posturing.
Hai Chao forced the flash. Yeah, this is a great ultimate by Keshi. One thing to note is that Ryan's GA is up. It was not up in that fight, so he will have it for this one. That is very key, as OMG has been shoved out of the river. Starry trying to land all the poke that he can. Again, as you said, he's had such a good game hitting these skill shots, dodging these skill shots as well. See if he's able to continue to try to get OMG back in a winning position. They're going to throw everything they have at Keshi. Meanwhile, Junhao forced off on the side by Hai Chao. Bullet
big ult.
Does so much damage and couldn't be stopped. Rio's got to run for the hills. Hai Chao chunked as well. Haru trying to go back in. Starry has no flash, but he goes golden. Harry in trouble. Everybody surrounds him. Grim Deliverance does not get off. and he will fall in Thunder Talk. They don't care about the Elder. They're looking to end the game.
Absolute collection of hero plays right there. Going for the namesake with the flash out to survive the Grim Deliverance. That was a fraction of a second from being a colossal loss in this team fight. The amount of healing Zen would have picked up would have been back to a full health bar, as now it is picking up the scraps for OMG. Dragon going down. This is an absolute game ender objective, but we have to deny the double super objectives. If they get this Baron as well, it is going to be curtains, as we have Starry on the Varus, potentially the bigger threat for a steal. Full build, lethality Varus has the potential to take this game back into OMG's hands.
Let's see if he can channel his inner Gumayushi. Ultimate gonna go down, that change of corruption. They're just waiting on the Baron, and all the time that they take here means that there's
my god!
Elder time, as it's secured by Junhao, and Rio gets bursted out.
I cannot believe Thunder Talk just raw took that Baron in their faces, had nobody go around the corner to zone them off. I was like, there must be a part of this plan. Part 1, start the Baron. Part 2, question mark, question mark, question mark. Part 3, kill Rio and get the Baron, go for the end. It is double supers walking down the mid lane. There is basically no way OMG can win this fight if they go for one. It has to be absolute miracles.
Keshi, a little bit too deep under the turret, bursted out. It's going to be a 4v4. Bullet time, not going to land a whole lot. Ryan, Junhao, Haru getting chunked a little bit here. They have both major objectives. So much power that Thunder Talk have here, as Moham flashing forward, dropping the exhaust, not hitting anybody with the winner's bite. Haichao going to force them all out. Let's see, Starry can't quite land that Q. Is going to eat the charm. He's got that Edge of Night. As OMG will force away Thunder to line. Starry trying to do everything he can, slowing them up with that Hextech Soul.
Looks like it's just chip. Watch Haru, he wants to fish for something as the Parasol comes down.
Cleanse got used on Ryan after that. Chains of Corruption. Haru says it might be time to go. Keshi doesn't land on anybody, but big knockups are coming through. Haichao on the backside trying to burst out. Some members here. GA getting popped. Harry in the thick of things. Health burst getting low for Thunder Talk, but you're going to have to kill him multiple times because of the cultivation of war. We have another GA coming through. Harry has to make a hero play, and I think he just might have. Starry and Harry.
TP's coming in.
Teleports coming in.
That's it.
OMG are looking to end the game from base to base. It was the wave that was set up in the top side. The siege is there. The ace is there. They have the minions. OMG were in such a good spot, and then they weren't, and then they were again. Melvin, OMG are going to take game 1.
Only a 3-word piece to say at the end of that one. Oh my god. What a game to kick
Set you up a lot. Obviously, it's quite a bit easier, I think, to get a kill with a Xin and a Twisted Fate rather than an Mbessa and a Twisted Fate. But I think you're also rewarded way more. We'll see if Junhao is going to cut his losses head up top, or if they really want to just go head-to-head and heads up with each other.
I think if you end up seeing that, unless the Wukong gets a jump from Fog of War, it really should be Rio favored. This Xin Zhao, quite adept at the early skirmishing. As now we see a little pick from Feather. It's just going to be a trade right now.
This is some pretty solid damage. You see Ryan has that Calibrum, so that extra range that you're going to have for these auto attacks does put advantage for Thunder Talk. But guess who gets here first? It's Rio getting through. Ryan in trouble. Just going to hold the flash in the back pocket. It's going to be Starry picking up first blood. Again, Haichao doesn't have a ton of damage, but that's okay. Is you can just force Haru out and auto attack away from killing him. Won't be able to do so, but again, this Talia not able to make much of an impact. We have Keshi coming down here to join this Dragon. Harry also in the thick of things. Dragon secured over by the side of Thunder Talk. See if OMG are able to pick up any more.
Okay, not looking to get you towards the mid game, and right now the Aphelios has been put behind. He was meant to have a dominant force in the lane. The Jax getting solo killed in the top lane. You are forcing for the grubs. At least Harry has TP'd down to bot, so this is a 3v3, 4v4.
All right, knockups are coming through with that Cyclone. Harry shows up to the party. High Chow from behind, trying to disrupt Ryan. Feather able to flash over the wall as Rio is pushed off to the side. Starry finds Feather. Junhao going to be the next target as OMG look to shove him off and take him down. A flash over the wall, but he will fall all the same.
His signature Ari button mattered. We now see Thundertalk trying to force the play onto Harry top.
He's marooned. He's on an island. Everybody is here. Rio can't get in. Public execution is going to land, but not get you far enough away as Thunder Talk through the kitchen sink. No, it's not everything but the kitchen sink. It's the kitchen sink too. And now they're sending everybody to try and take out this top turret.
And it looks like it is just going to be a straight-up race. I actually have no idea which side will get it. There's going to be a lot of resistances on this top tower, but grubs in favor of OMG. It's a very close one. Okay, down to a few seconds of difference, but Starry and Moham, having been left with the tower for so much longer, it means there were a lot more plates knocked down by those two. So on the one hand, you see a 1.6k gold lead in Starry's pocket now. Yeah. On the other hand, the Feats of Warfare fight lives, and it comes down to objectives. OMG picking up the prio on this dragon with all of the resets coming out from Thundertalk members. It looks like they should be able to get the heads up on this one, short of a miracle steal from a Feather E, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that one's happening. So overall, good stuff by OMG, quickly realizing that, you know, Rio specifically, I got to get down there and start up this dragon. You know, they're still in a great spot right now of about 3,000 gold at 12 minutes is exactly where you'd want to be with half of that into the mid lane here to catch that wave and be able to Destiny if need be. Keshi looks like he might be able to get away. I'll hop to a flower, pick it up. Moham trying to cut him off, but it's just Moham and Rio. They don't really have the damage. They will force the flash out of Keshi. That does mean the top lane tower will fall as well. Thunder talking to responding kind on the bot side.
Massive cooldown, massive pickup, taking away this top tier 1. It does mean if the Archon ends up spawning on that side of the map, it's a point of power knocked down, as it looks like will be, like you said, a response onto this slow contest.
Yep, he's going to do it now. High Chow coming around the side, trying to stay out of vision wisely. He's going to drop down that Destiny as well. He's going to get engaged on, but take it to get back on a favorable side of the fight. Feather going to get pulled in. Haru trying to get away. Rio going over the wall, knocking everybody away. And there's the public execution from Harry as he got on top of Ryan to take him out. And they're running over the fight now. Keshi's going to be the next target. Seismic shove doesn't land. He's very low, able to hop away and blast Cone out. But it is a 2-0 in favor of OMG. The Herald is theirs.
Harry on this Ambessa tastes blood in the water and goes for the kill on their opposite number in the top lane. So far, this Ambessa has really proved to be the bane of Thundertalk's existence. How this player, who I had the full expectation coming into today, that Harry was going to just be locking in tanks. Like, this looked like it. I was expecting the Cassante, I was expecting things like that, and no. We have had somebody who has been really trying to redefine how they go about the game, how they work with this team identity. And with two comps who look to be mid-jungle, sends power to side lane, OMG is executing on that plan a fair bit better than Thundertalk so far.
So far, so good. The solo laners with experience are beating up on the kids from the LDL right now. As Michael Jordan would say, blank them kids.
Series we are getting from this Thundertalk squad. So I'm hoping that this can help them redefine, as we do see play onto Haru.
Okay, we're seeing a cleanse out, but I mean, Haru was just going to die. Feather was able to escape with that, but it's another death for the mid laner of Thundertalk.
Don't love that. What I was trying to get to is, so far, in the very small sample size we've had, if Junhao gets off to an early lead, Thundertalk looks good, because he can lead the team and force plays with impunity. But this Wukong is not a champion that facilitates that. Now, do I think that that's a problem?
Hang on. Moham coming through over the top with the Magnet Storm as OMG are looking to put this series away and punch their ticket to stage 2.
Yes, it is a problem.
He outran it. How?
I
don't even know. Over on the other side, Junhao is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get gold carded. Rio trying to get in all the damage that he can, but also soak up a bunch with his ultimate. They find Keshi. Haichao not going to be able to gold card anybody else, but they get the pick they wanted, and Otacon's in the cards.
Really nice play from OMG to capitalize and really force their advantage beforehand, because if you have all 5 members when it comes to this fight around the Atacon, we've seen so many teams throw this objective over the year. Will this be one of the last ones? No, it looks like they're forcing.
Multiple members on the backside there as Junhao had the knock up. A feather will fall. Public execution not going to land, but all my homies hate Ryan as they just go after this man. Haru is going to fall next, and the Otacon will be started once again by OMG. 14 kills to 2, 10,000 gold lead at 22 minutes, and Thunder Talk just did not have enough gas in the tank after that game 1.
An astute play from the coach of OMG. I'm sure that they verbatim said what you did of all of my homies hate Ryan. Do not let this guy play.
It's not an email, but I'm sending a Slack message to my boss going, do we really have to have this meeting? Like,
yeah.
You know, the Slack message is being typed up. I'm using Grammarly to go and make sure that all my spelling is correct. You know, and we're going to go send it over. We're not sponsored by Grammarly, by the way. I just use it at my day job. Anyway, this Dragon going to go over to the side of OMG, put themselves on Soul Point, and I must say, I really like what we've seen out of OMG in this particular series, mostly because they weren't as scattered in their team fights as they were against one of the Old Man Cup teams. Talk a little bit about more on that in a second, as Haru is going to go down once again. They are bullying the children.
Definite
Please stop
improvement.
bullying the children.
Definite improvement. And you know what? OMG are looking so much better than they did. So competent from a lead. They're not throwing it in any way. Moham is just going to be able to walk this one out. Everybody focusing down. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay, Keshi, wait a minute. Turn around on a Starry. Starry trying to escape, and he will finally fall. Okay, we're landing a hook onto Moham. Listen, Thunder Talk were able to bring a game back because of an overextension by OMG. If there's one thing that Thunder Talk did well yesterday, it was punishing overextensions, and they're looking to punish even more. Rio is going to fall. Harry went all the way in. He's trying to 1v4, but he's just not the guy right now. Haichao getting lollipopped on the hook, and Thunder Talk get an ace.
God, I love caster cursing. It's my... Is it too early to call it the OMG spot? I think if it happens a third time, then it gets stamped as the OMG spot.
If we have another 45-minute game, it'll be the OMG spot. And right now, I'm saying OMG, Thunder Talk is making the plays now. It's now a 5v4, and it's right around the time of the next Dragon in 2.5 minutes. The positioning for Thunder Talk, they get to grab these wards. I don't know.
Looks like a free
they get the turn as well. The knockup is there. They blow up Rio. Thunder Talk is doing it.
Big exhaust.
They're coming back. Public execution onto Ryan. But this time, all the homies love
Big O!
As he drops the Moonlight Visual, he finds a triple kill for himself. And that's what I'm Thunder talking about.
Unbelievable team fight there, as now we have Haichao fishing with the ultimate, trying to dissuade anything, but 4 members strong. Thunder Talk's just going to take this Baron. It's incredible that we're still going in this game. Haichao tried to do what is possible, but he doesn't have the smite from the spellbook. He doesn't have vision. This is truly just... He's trying to aura farm and hope that that's enough to scare them off of the Baron, but Thunder Talk's side lanes for OMG as Harry is getting jumped on.
Yep, Haru going to go right after him along with Keshi. They're going to CC him to death, and it's another kill for Thunder Talk. Junhao picks that one up, and one thing that we have to talk about... Hold on, wait, the siege is on here. They are just going for it because this Dragon is not up. Will they try to get more? It's a bot tier 2. They're going to shove in this wave, and yes, they are going to try to look for more. Thunder Talk has a man advantage. Rio from the backside, unable to do anything. This inhibitor is going to fall. Thunder Talk are going to keep moving forward. 25 seconds until Harry is up. It's going to be a 5v4. The first turret is in trouble. There's a gold card coming down. It doesn't actually result in a fight. Keshi up a little bit too far, but he manages to take the turret. And OMG will walk out for a turret that's going to respawn. Harry is up in 10 seconds, but no teleport, as Thunder Talk need to fade back to this Dragon and take it away.
I think that was absolute perfection from Thunder Talk. Instead of going for the Dragon, which was OMG's expectation, hold on, will the flip find? No, Moham gets away. Very lucky on this one. But what could have been OMG taking so much presence on the map, 2 towers could have fallen there, but instead, ThunderTalk forced to look for the end, as now it is just the chase down. The health bar's somewhat low.
Okay.
That's a
We got the GA, OMG, trying to do something, but they're just forced away. Rio on the backside, Keshi trying to get in. Stun onto Starry, but he can't quite find him. Harry with the public execution, keeping Starry alive.
That's a lot of
Ryan is alive
chakrams.
too. Keshi goes golden. He's still in there. Keshi's getting it done. He buys enough time for Thunder Talk, but they don't get the dragon, but it doesn't matter.
They got it.
They're looking to end the game. Oh my goodness. Thunder Talk looking for a big comeback. They're not pushing through bot lane though. They want to go scorched earth. They're going to start up on this mid-tier 2. They're going to take mid-tier 3 and try to get that inhibitor and then fade back to the dragon, I'd imagine.
It looks like it. They are going to take the option of caution, knocking down the inhib, but at the end of the day, there's 20-second respawns on 3 key members. I would not have been surprised if they wanted to push for more, but ThunderTalk happily catching the throw from OMG, and they are running with the ball, going straight over to this dragon now as we take a look at the gold lead, and what was absolute devastation is now a 1k gold lead in ThunderTalk's favor, and a dragon pick up to Baron up in 2 minutes 20. What looked like a game spins around and laughs in your face as now the Weaver's Wall comes down. This should be the tower falling because of it.
Very nice job there by Thunder Talk. Just trying to get more control. Now that last part of the job, yeah, it's already gone. And you know what? I think that going to the waves is just probably the right move. They might be able to find Keshi on the backside here. He doesn't have the helicopter. They're looking for him. They are going to be able to burst him out, but it's a 4v4. Rio trying to get away, trying to get to safety, but he pulls him in. Knockup's coming through onto Harry as Ryan's got a double kill. And it might be an Aphelios moment. He's got a triple kill. Highchow going to be the next target. He gets flicked back. Public execution onto Haru, who does fall, but Harry on Haru violence. Trade out. It's Highchow against the world, and Thunder Talk loves those odds as they're going to shove it down mid.
Yeah, I've seen no way a Twisted Fate can stop this. Such work from Ryan, who had been absolutely bullied throughout this early game, coming out massive and just walking down Starry, who didn't have the range to be able to actually counter DPS. It is just looking like the end. Like, look at these people. There's nothing they can do.
There's Moham's second turret's under siege. They got the stuns out. Highchow's trying to kite away, but the Nexus is exposed. Ryan will fall, but the rest of the squad will clean it up. Thunder Talk from depth to Ryan and Feather. We've seen Ash Seraphine show up a couple of times in the LPL throughout 2025. A lot of it was done by LGD, YCX. Really played Rayo and Harry up top here, looking to make a play onto Keshi, at least force something out. Rio is going in. Keshi is going to burn, and it's first blood going over to Harry.
Finally get a spot out. Junhao on that dragon, going to be quite happy to take away the first Infernal, get some semblance of a fight back on the feet. Play after, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah, they'll look for the pick. Meanwhile, Haru over on the other side is completely alone. They're going to attack the weak side. He's forced to flash away. Now they're going to go right after Highchow. They throw everything at him and take him out.
All right.
OMG is going to feel obligated to go after the next one. Speaking of an obligation, they're going to go right after Ryan. They really do hate this guy, and they will not clean him up. Flash heal shield from Feather saves the day.
And I think that's going to be enough to stall out the team fight. Ryan does need to hit the base ASAP. Oh, the snipe from Rio! It's perfectly down mid.
And now Ryan is completely cut off because Highchow gets to hold that flank. Top laners not going to show up. It looks like teleports are available. They have split apart for the moment, and it looks like Harry will be the first one to join. Junhao is stuck in the back of the pit. Here's the encore, and it doesn't land on anybody. Ryu going in, and he takes the dragon away. Big stun coming down as Moham's caught in the back of the pit, but Highchow's unleashed power onto Junhao. They're trying to fight out of the pit. Keshi is able to at least escape and flash away, but Rio is looking to run him down, unable to close out on the kill. A 1 or 2.
The rocket belt now just getting Blackfire as well for Highchow. Higher powered fight than we were initially expecting. Kraken as well, Bloodthirster. Everybody bar support on first line. Keshi getting jumped.
Flash, scatter the weak. And Keshi has been deemed weak. But now they're going to look for Rio here. Rio still alive, but it'll finally fall to Junhao. Great trade from Thunder Talk. They have the fight split here. Scatter the weak does land on the Haru.
Junhao's smite nearly back up, but he's chasing the objective down. It resets. Junhao focus.
Yeah, he went in a little bit too close here. Bullet time doesn't land on anybody. Now Starry's going to have to contend with Haru, another scout of the week, but Moham getting shoved off on the side. Haru says, I must take this fight while my team is gone. He's dancing around, and he survives. The roots onto Harry, and Thunder Talk are coming back, baby.
Oh my lord, such an push prio. Big poke coming down now as it is just who starts the fight. Where is the equalizer going to go?
Moham's half HP. Feather's going to really need to hit this encore this time around. Use his teammates to extend it. Harry off to the side has that equalizer at the ready. He is going to drop it down right under the head of Feather, and it's going to catch him before the ult could go off. Haru has to back out immediately, but Junhao and Keshi trying to lead the charge. Keshi immediately having to flash away. Dragon secured for the
Between
side.
Whatever lane. It's just when this tower feat is still available, it becomes such high priority. As Haru was about to walk to mid, realizes if I don't TP, I can't defend this, but I don't think he can do it anyway.
They throw everything at him. That's big damage, and that's OMG breaking down mid-tier 1. And meanwhile, Thunder Talk not really able to do anything in response. This Otacon, again, has been started, but you actually can't do anything about it, so feat's going their way.
A play of footwork, and OMG have got the right slippers on, getting away with that one quite handedly. And now we take a look at how the map is
really scary now. Feather again, still the encore in his back pocket. Otacon resetting, patient,
such
not
a rough
patient,
position to
getting
play
lower,
for.
getting higher. Stun coming out. Here we go. We're on top of Keshi, and he's gonna fall. Otacon should go over to OMG now, as Thunder Talk have given it up.
The 6th member of OMG, Otacon, playing such a significant role. Haru chased down. He slips away. That was narrow, but regardless, it's still massively winning for OMG. Picking up kills, It's really tough for Thunder Talk to posture aggressively.
And now another objective, which means another fight. Thunder Talk looking to put themselves on the 3rd dragon, but again, we just have Jace poke. Moham, though, is in trouble. Feather with the encore. This one lands flush right onto the rumble. Keshi eating a full bullet time and a shock blast, but he is able to walk out. Haichao has to teleport mid lane to regroup with his team, but Thunder Talk are going to take the dragon.
Wait, they're looking for a Baron trade? Hold on a minute, because Haichao was bot side of that fight. TP's over, and they're immediately aggroing towards the Baron. Are they trying to do this? No?
No, they're not. They realize that they can't. It was just a very weird...
enough to buy them time in these team fights to get the stun down, to throw down the ultimate and burst. If we take a look, fully stacked on the Syndra passive now, has the execute, has the mini rabbit. I see Keshi.
Don't hurt as much as they used to. Feather needs to have another good encore. Scout of the week lands. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Bullet time over the top. Ocean Soul secured. Haru has gone gold. Knockups abound for Junhao on the backside as Ryan and Feather get it done. Haru bursting out Starry, and he lives. Harry goes golden, but he's forced to flash away, and Ryan wants a piece of him. Flashing forward just to slow him up. Harry still continuously slowed. Scout of the week lands, but Harry can't close it out. Thunder Talk 3-0. Oh, it was OMG that took away the dragon, actually, so no Ocean Soul for them.
It was
an opportunity for a Baron.
Massive bullet time coming out from Starry that denied Junhao the ability to walk up to the dragon. However, he didn't die, and that's the important part. Allows him to walk over. Ryu was able to steal away. Watch this massive scatter of the week into the Misfortune ultimate. The encore comes out and forces Starry to flash away.
Ocean Soul will be so huge here. Bullet time. Great bullet time, and now we're going to go right after Ryan, throwing everything at him, but he gets shielded, and he lives through it. Teleports are coming through. Harry will be able to take him out. Junhao frontlining, but he's going to be in the Guardian Angel as Harry tries to make it back to the rest of his team, but he's overheated. Scout of the week going to land. Haichao going to be targeted out. No, it's going to be Starry this time around as they're diving this turret. Haichao trying to survive between 2 turrets. Haru on a sliver, just barely alive.
How is he alive?
That he's got to hit a shock blast here, but it's just too far out of range. A 4 for 2 in favor of Thunder Talk as they're shoving down these turrets.
What even was that? Haru and Keshi go absolutely crazy at the tail end of the team fight. These dash-based solo laners. Keshi put on tank. Feather has picked up the redemption now. Between that and the Seraphine W, so much healing available as Moam is the target.
Yep, they're going to go right after him, but this bullet is great! Keshi's exhausted, but he's running out of room. Again, this time it's Thunder Talk on the bottom side of the map throwing.
I think that OMG bot lane may have just saved the game. With this dragon priority, no jungler, no spellbook available, no way to contest, and I'm getting deja vu! It's happening again! There is pressure in the mid and top lane, but instead of taking the dragon and getting ready for that, OMG is forcing down bot. I think they're going to threaten an inhib here, because at the end of the day, as Thunder Talk, what can you do to defend this? You can't stand there. You need your other two members up.
We saw this exact sequence in Game 2. Go take an inhibitor and then go take a dragon, but this time OMG are sticking around a little bit longer. They really want one of these Nexus turrets to eventually walk away. Here comes an encore, only lands on the one. Equalizer down, Haru has to get away, but they're keeping the pressure on. Feather goes down. OMG are looking to finish the game. Both Nexus turrets exposed. Nexus at half, and it falls.
Oh my.
Thunder Talk.
I like, okay, cool, we're gonna do very good in laning phase. I want to see Ultra Prime with some early advantages. Maybe if they can get the first 2 dragons, I think dragon stacking kind of gives them
looking for our first little gank, and Bessa is here at least to say hello, or maybe try to get a little bit of a gank here, looking for an angle to go in. The fight isn't gonna stop. Nico trying to buy a little bit of time there. Looks like we're trying to find something to happen, and we get melted right before our eyes as we get a 1-for-1 trade. That's a little unfortunate, spending all that resources just to trade evenly.
And the wave's going to be able to hit under the turret. Thankfully for FRK, SMLZ will still be able to pick up this wave. Don't think Baya is going to have too much to say, but actually, there's no combat summoner spell here, so SMLZ just goes down. It is traded for the barrier.
Try and test my mic. Can you hear me now, Alk? Are we good to go? We're looking for our first little route there on Raijin. Taking a bit of damage here as we go in, and Wink does eventually get blinked out on the other side. I'm going to try to lock them down on SMLZ, getting at least absolute shenanigans on our end, sort of here on the background. Oh, Saber trying to go in, looking for the damage here on Welk as we do layer the stuns there, and Bessa there for the cover as the curtain call opens up looking for the damage, but that is going to be exposed Jin, as now he's going to get locked down. The Zen go in and Hacker out for blood as more and more of Up go down, unfortunately for their side, leaving Saber inside. Fall squarely in the hands of Up, getting their hands on a couple of more objectives as this goes further.
That they're missing. So really interested to see how much more they can kind of put emphasis on this objective now. SMLZ's actually moved over.
Chains of Corruption coming down. Curtain call gonna open up, looking for a couple of shots there. Nico Clone will be able to grab some of it, but Saber goes in, picks up a kill, able to get the score. He's wasted a lot of time, and that's such a precious resource, but it may not matter if this Rumble just stays here. We've just left him absolutely isolated, trying to look for an angle here on SMLZ. Honestly, getting this trade might be his best bet if he could just close the distance a little more. Just please, 1 or 2 more AA shots, but it's so hard. We do pick up the kill on Varus and go down, and honestly, we take those. That's going to be some nice shutdown gold for Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, just not getting any of those turret plates, so important. Cryan getting smacked in mid lane. They're trying to make this play onto Fearness now. He will have the Scion passive. So,
passive isn't going to get popped as we go down. Score going to get a little bit delayed because technically Scion's not dead yet, but that'll happen here any moment. And this should be some nice plates for them to turn around. Up really looking to grab a lot of these macro objectives and get their hands on that. But we're going to answer it immediately with the exact same thing in the top lane. Always love to see very solid macro plays. Always love to see this constant trading back and forward. And this is turning out to be way more even than I had originally expected it, Alk.
Well, yeah, I mean, FRK gave us some of the more competitive games from the streamer teams, even if it was ZSM who actually won in a game in their group. It was like, okay, FRK, they got really close in yesterday's series.
If we can, but it looks like Zen's going to get spotted, so this could very easily turn into a lot of different just back and forward ganks. Looking for the damage, curtain call going to open up there, just 1 shot lands, 2, looking for the 3rd, looking for the 4th, 3rd does miss, 4th misses as well, as Hacker going to worry about the Mbessa. We're out for lunch, we're out for blood, as the equalizer comes down, and we absolutely melt and fall to pieces. SMLZ somehow able to walk away from that wreckage, and what a weird 2-for-1 trade.
Great punish coming in from Ultra Prime. There was just no reason a Nico should be that far up. They know where the rest of their team is.
We're now sitting at 3-1. We're getting a comfortable little bit of gold just over time and not going down whatsoever.
Got 2 items spiking for very important champions right now. We're trying to make a play on SMLZ. Yeah, he has no flash, so why not? Let's just go for it. They find that pick. It is a trade. Saber ends up going down.
It's going to be for them.
Well, we just saw right there, the flash coming in from Hacker means that Saber has to move out of the way. They also drop the Herald, so talk about mid-priority. Means now that they grab the mid-tier one as well. Fearness right now, he can't really do all that much, but he's playing
pushed out of this. It might just be wise to
go.
Sion going in, looking for the angle. Fortunately, not able to find it. We are going to be able to pick up the Jin. There's going to be a first flash there, trying to lock him down, but we're going to turn it in immediately and should be a dead Jin. Yes, indeed. He's going to go down. That's really unfortunate, that immobility, even with the flash, really.
Hesitancy from these two teams, because when Hacker went forward in the very first part of this engagement, it was like, okay, we were able to get out the Mikhails from Xiaoxia. That's good enough. Let's move back into mid lane. We actually saw FRK do that. Ultra Prime then give up the Otacon. This is going to be much needed experience for this team. I mean, just Syndra alone, if she gets a level, that's getting closer to her getting that execute and that mini Rabadons that's attached to her passive.
Santacon going down as Saber takes a massive amount of damage and actually goes down.
Call to land, that'll turn into a mid-tier 1 here for Ultra Prime. They're going to be able to walk back up into this wave, finally them being able to take this turret. Please, someone. All right, Baya would have preferred you helped your mid laner there.
We know the Drake is up, but if we just buy a little time here and don't take the objective on the other end, the Drake will just fall in the background here to Zen, which is exactly the plan, it looks like. Tower goes down because it looks like LeBlanc Saber is absolutely not involved in this fight, so this is a 3v4, which can quickly shift to the other side. Drake's sitting about half HP, and this is exactly what they want. They don't want this fight to actually kick off, unfortunately, trying to lock them down. SMLZ gonna get caught there, gonna get taken down by Mbessa. We played a little bit too close to the sun, and we indeed did get burnt, so that's gonna be really unfortunate. Drake does fall down.
SMLZ, he's kind of the only person that I'm a little bit worried about, but FRK are also just not in the pit.
Ooh, Change of Corruption's going to lock down. Pop Blossom, unfortunately, not able to hit the Saber there. Nashor getting so close to going down. Look at the damage. There it is, Mbessa in. But now we got to get away with the prize. It doesn't matter if you get your hands on this Baron, if you get taken down for your trouble, as Hacker gets one, looking for the second one, trying to mitigate some of the advantages that Up had got their hands.
Another Dragon going over to FRK, and Ultra Prime are slowly being choked out of this one. How do we ever kill this tank? And that is something we asked from them in draft. You have a 4-item Jin, kind of has to be your hyper carry in this instance with the amount of AD, just raw attack damage this champion gets access to. I have a Fiendish Codex that says to me that we're going for the Crypt Bloom, so this Sion's going to even be more impossible. And just look at the boots, right? Like, 3 out of the 4 members, or 3 out of the 5 members here, they have Merc Treads. That's Leo down. Okay, so I don't think that's game, but if they find another pick, we've got Dragon spawning in a minute 30. Parts of this composition right now, whether that's the Nico or it's one of these two carries, but they both have spell shields.
There it is. We go down by a good chunk as the Equalizer comes down crying, goes down about half HP with Redemption coming in for a little bit of much-needed relief as Syndra stops and engage. The curtain call finally does open up, so we're looking to start a fight here, looking for a statement, but once again, we're having a hard time locking down this Sion, able to take so many shots immediately to the face, and FRK, despite things getting a little bit sweaty for them, just is allowed to kind of walk away. So even if we go and try to take this Drake, the response is going to be able to get our hands on a Baron. We did get a reset there on Cryan, able to pop back with a TP as Nashor sits about half HP. We no longer have Equalizer to pop down in the Baron pit, so that's going to be a tool out of their wheelhouse. We did pick up Baron, but can we get out of it? That's going to be the important thing. Yeah, I think that's a very clear possibility. It looks like we're getting a bit more use out of the Baron. Equalizer coming down, only able to do a little bit of damage, is able to buy time here to try to lock down the Varus, but once again, we're absolutely layering our defense, keeping our squishies alive. I like this coordination here for FRK. Curtain call is going to open up, but once again, Jin's going to be really exposed as he has to cancel it and walk away as the T3 goes down, and Bessa looking to try to make things something happen, but immediately going to run directly into Syndra. Going to get knocked back as we're looking to take down that inhib. Saber still trying to make something happen, but just really
on the bottom side of the map and get themselves ready for what is a Dragon number 7 here in 3 minutes.
T2 down, moving into the T3. No reason to not continue our siege. Another Equalizer comes down, and I feel like maybe we're using this a little bit too liberally. That's a very, very powerful ability, and I don't think you're going to be able to lock anyone down too much. Fearness just able to absolutely take so much as the Pop Blossom comes in, able to at least get some, but unfortunately I don't think they're going to be able to turn it around as Saber goes in and is able to snipe at least someone. Curtain call opens up. Is Up going to turn this around? This is their best opportunity, but Fearness able to take all of those shots hits immediately to the back, going down about half HP. This Scion is getting chopped down as we look for kill after kill. Cryan able to do so much for their team, but this can still be anyone's game as we pop a little bit back up and another one goes down up, absolutely wrecking the competition. We stepped a little bit too far forward and we're looking for the full wipe. Saber really wants this kill on Hacker if we're able to lock him down, and yes indeed, we're able to get the entire team for FRK.
Finally, this LeBlanc pays off. We get a team fight where she's able to weave in and out of this. Right now, you can see that FRK are moving in. Hacker is on vision from this brush right now. He's going to jump over the wall, and he is separated. Saber on one side of the map. There's the equalizer doing nothing here. Wink onto 3.
Awesome as 3 as we lock him down. Curtain call opens up. Fairness trying to find an angle, knocking up the Jin. But FRK taking so much damage as Mbessa goes in, looking to lock down 1, 2. Romo gonna fall 2 pieces, unfortunately for him, as Hacker goes in and now gonna get taken down. Up, looking in top form, turning this game around. Game number 1 might just fall to Up.
There is the soul. Leo push a little bit more. Scion is still up. He will recall. He'll be able to answer on this inhibitor 20 seconds before Cryan is available and respawns, and there's a Baron now spawning. Ultra Prime, but it's split up the front and the back lines here, providing so much for Ultra Prime.
Yeah, and Mbessa going in there for the 1-2 punch after taking the Drake, just absolutely rocked the competition. You know, just Mbessa doing Mbessa things. To actually get to see a fight involving the Elder, you know, coming up. It's 3 minutes, and I think it's absolutely possible. However, Baron should be able to help us crack open the base, at least hopefully. And we might end up in a little bit awkward stage. So, you know, I guess there's a chance we couldn't, but I don't think you can play too heavily handed into FRK, because FRK still has the potential to turn this around for a lot of different reasons, but we got to find the right opportunity. Curtain call gonna open up once again, signaling a little bit of fight here as we're going to try to go in, but unfortunately we're just not feeling the confidence for that one. Trying to crack open the base still, that's going to be a little bit more important. Saber able to do that at least inside the mid lane now, chomping at the inhib, and we should be able to take on this T3 in bot lane now.
They're getting picked apart at the seams. No ability to clear waves as easily as their opponents if they had the on-hit Varus, but Cryan's getting outranged. Saber goes in, takes half of his HP. Now multiple waves crashing. Another double-stacked cannon minion wave on bottom lane. You have this wave in mid lane. 40 seconds left on this Baron. This has to be the time where Ultra Prime look for the win. They do not want to have a chance where they're playing around an Elder.
The big thing I'm worried about, though, is we have a lot of ultimates down. Sure, there's a couple more coming back up. We've also got a good chunk of flashes down for Ultra Prime, so if they buy themselves a little more time, this could turn in their advantage. Equalizer is indeed up. It's going to get deployed down on Cryan, locking it down on the other side. Pop Blossom going in, hitting absolutely no one, unfortunately, for them. However, we are able to pick up 1 kill as Saber once again goes in, grabs another one, and Mbessa doing the exact same thing, locking down the other side as turret after turret's going to fall down, and somehow Up is making a comeback in game number 1 and taking the entire enchilada, because this is going to be a dead Nexus, Alk.
They lost the bottom lane. They were doing well.
So I was right on the prediction. Let's see if you're right on Cassiopeia absolutely rocking them. There's definitely plenty of opportunities there for that one. And we're going to go with Thresh.
Okay.
I'm not...
Early priority doesn't look too bad here. Hacker level 3 and can look for something on the Saber. Would just mean probably his flash is going to go missing here.
Ryan going in, trying to lock him down. That's exactly what you're talking about. We're in the Fury, but we are going to trade, unfortunately, for the other side. Getting a little bit too close.
Scuttle. He'll be able to maybe make a move in mid lane, and more importantly for me, I don't want to spend too much time in this lane. I want to go for the top side Scuttle.
Once again, though, Cryan going to run into a bit of trouble, as it looks like Vi's going to get the knock-up, and this should be a lot of much-needed revenge.
Just a few things happening all at the same time. Hacker makes that play on bottom side, but Ultra Prime, they get a timer now to move into the river. Also, Cryan had to go for yet another recall here, so that means that their mid lane was never going to be able to move in time for this play. Dragon's going to be taken by Ultra Prime, and this is worrisome for FRK. They need to be able to steal this.
Fortunately, they're not able to
get
what
he's going to go. They're going to keep going for this. They should.
TP coming in. Not a lot of reinforcements so far. Cassante looks like they're not going to respond, but it looks like we're going to try to look in for the Death Sentence. Death Sentence is good. We should have a flay here in a couple of moments, and yes, indeed, we're going to lock down one and pick up another kill. As the 8-minute mark does hit at that one, so we do have Void Grubs up and ready to go. Philios looking for an angle here on SMLZ. Just one, we do actually get it. Okay, but so it's a double-edged sword. If you're able to take down Saber, that's the majority of the gold there for your team. So I think that's going to be a good angle. Ooh, trying to look for the happening, but immediately we go in as Saber. It goes in for the damage. The cow has to run away. I think FRK is getting more and more separated here. This could be an angle to lock them down. Filet, unfortunately, hitting absolutely no one, as we do have control of the ambush. Wink goes in looking for the damage there, but unfortunately able to find a whole bunch on the other side. That's it. It's pulling them back in. They thought they were out. Nefiri going in, but also going to get taken down as Hacker falls to pieces, goes down on the other side. Crying here, trying to dish out the damage here with the Rune Prism, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. This Aphelios just hits way too hard, and Saber is still uncontested. Our score at the 11 minutes is 1-7.
All right, this game's cooked, ladies and gentlemen. We spent 50 minutes just to be done with this game number 2, 10 minutes deep. 4,000 gold lead. This is way too much at this point. Wink, that flash, I think, is incredibly exploratory. We're going to be trying to go for a dive here. We're just looking for more kills, more gold into Baye's pocket. Let's give him some down ultimates. And you're just so far down gold, you're never contesting this dragon now. So FRK put themselves in a deeper hole, and Ultra Prime are going to continue to scale in this game and continue to mount even higher gold leads. I mean, finished across the board, almost completed first items here for all of Ultra Prime, and we're still talking about scaling 2 and 3 items here for their carries.
Well, and I think something to note here, too, is even Cassante is doing pretty decent on their end. They were able to get a solo kill on top of Zahim, so that's even more gold in their pockets. And another nail in the coffin, I feel, for FRK. Pretty good death sentence as the exhaust comes down. SMLZ getting so close to going down, but unfortunately...
the franchise player for Ultra Prime for now for multiple years, playing in their academy team, and more holdovers. Leo Yu playing over on BLG Junior, same with us, but they have no vision under this play. Maybe they just go for the rise.
Cryan in a bit of trouble. Not even really too worth casting that one. That's a pretty easy death. Lantern.
And there's just nothing here for FRK to go for. You're going to maybe contest for these Raptors. Saber's going to pick up an entire turret for himself. And while it isn't turret plates, I think the player gold being toggled here is really great from the production team. Like, 4/5 of this...
I think we're seeing all of it right here, unfortunately, for FRK. Really sputtering out in this one. There was an opportunity. Cryan running directly into the monster and running into that creature. Going to try to ult to safety, but...
Fog of War on the bottom side of the map, and it is impossible for anyone from FRK to be able to match. More gold going over to Ultra Prime as they take this mid-tier 1.
Mid-tier 1 going to get cracked as the death sentence comes in, going over the wall with a bit of flay. Now Yanara got to worry about a good chunk of damage. SMLZ returns a little bit of an exhaust, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough as more and more get taken down. Wink actually going to go down there in that one, trying to look for an angle as Fearness goes down. So that's going to be another 2 kills right before the Drake pops up on the map.
Oh, man. More kills, 2 going over to Ultra Prime. Control of the bottom side jungle as the dragon spawns. Nothing for this jungler to do. Hacker is just dead for free. A red buff will be their next prize. The dragon afterward.
Down, but Cryan is the lesser for it. Ward is going to be down there. We should run directly into it. Rice does finally pop it, but honestly, at this point, if they get caught, this could be a potential bad situation as the Sultan Battery goes in. I don't even think we really need it. However, we do take a good chunk of damage on top of the Vice. The Saber is still here to try to lock them down as Hacker going to get taken down. Redemption coming on the other end as Thresh looking for another death sentence, but it looks like Aphelios is there to pick up the kill there for his team, for his side, as Cassante continues to knock at the top door.
And just look at the map now. Like, Saber teleports mid. He's going to pick up this wave so that SMLZ gets nothing for free. Maybe even a mid-tier 2 if they really want it. Baye is going to pick up the gold on the bottom side with another wave coming. Everything is going right for the side of Ultra Prime. And cool. Fearness, are you going to be able to pick this one up? No. It's a solo kill again onto this Zahen.
It feels like the win has just completely left the sails of FRK. We saw the possibilities. We were rooting for them.
Spent a lot of time talking about these guys. Saber, he was not impressive on any of the traditional mages. His Talia was iffy. His Ahri wasn't great. His Orianna was kind of questionable. But it was these melee assassins that I thought he was so impressive at. And he's just continuing to pull out really niche picks into mid lane that, hey, look, like that is a great way to get around not having some of the more meta mids here. So I love this from Saber. Whether or not he'll be able to show this against some of the is going to be something that I'm going to be looking forward to for Ultra Prime.
Absolutely. I think Saber has been a big contender of this team overall. We're going to walk directly into our own deaths. We're going to try to lock down the Aphelios. This could be a good angle, but unfortunately, I just don't think we have the damage. We are able to at least pick up something for our side, but what can we do? That TP coming in, but not a lot of follow-up because, you know, Cassiopeia is just allowed to take down the top tower. So while this fight's still going on, Cassante going in, looking for at least one kill. Got to grab it there, Thresh. Popping down ultimate there on their end, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. Hacker goes in, only to get taken down, and it doesn't really matter that we're outnumbered because the wallet diff is absolutely insane.
There it is, another kill, a triple kill going over to Baye. They don't even need the dragon that's going to spawn in a minute and a half. They got the Otacon. They won the big team fight around the bottom side. Another 4 members of FRK go down. And we'll look at this as the last bit of the tournament here for this streamer team. 0-3.
Bit unfortunate for them. Rune Prison coming in on Xiao Xiao, but shouldn't be able to do too much. We've got a lot of sieging potential here, and I think we're just trying to buy some time, maybe crack open the base, because we've been in about 30 seconds. We do have the next upcoming Drake, and I've got to imagine, even under tower, I think FRK is really going to struggle with it. Rise going in, able to get the Alistair in the background, but it's just not able to do enough. We're able to at least get Saber, but unfortunately, we're going to pop the Zonias, keeping ourselves alive. So much damage as Thresh popping down an ultimate there. Nefiri trying to turn things around, but it's just not going to happen. We have too much gold on the other side, too much hurt on the other end, and the jungle is the only one to walk away from that.
You see how difficult it is if you just put down Miasma, and look, a Realm Warp is great to get him into the backline, but it's incredibly telegraphed. So Wink goes in, he tries to flash to get himself out. They cannot find Saber. By the way, we also haven't seen a Cultivation of War from this Sehen. There's been no revives available. UltraPrime are going to look to take this game down in 24.
Alistair here with a Hex Attack flash, about 7 seconds on the clock for the next upcoming, but I don't even think it's going to matter. This Nexus is all but destroyed as Saber just trying to pad their deck team that we're kind of building up a little bit here on LNG.
Yeah, the Nocturne is, in my mind, you don't want to let LNG get both. But they do have the Kiana, so...
Level 6, so that's going to be a little unfortunate. But the same thing can be said for Monkey. Monkey sitting at level 5 so far, waiting on that Paranoia, which, of course, is very, very iconic for the Nocturne. And I think pairs really well with this team. You know, if Orianna gets a little bit too close and we get a fight here with a Kali and Nocturne, I love the combination. It's a really good 1-2 punch. Sure, you don't have a lot of the stuns that maybe you want, but it is an insane amount of damage. Drake, indeed, falling in the for the Void Grubs. I've got to imagine that LNG is going to looking forward to Paranoia, going to get locked down, trying to go for the Sivir as we get a dramatic pause right when it pops off. That's extremely unfortunate. Oh, man.
But the caster cams are still going.
Get out.
Oh, it's an in-game bug.
Oh, okay, good. Sivir's dead, though, apparently. Super nice. As the second one goes, too, and it looks like we're going to try to respect our opponents, but Monkey immediately going to go into Kiana, able to get a massive ultimate, but do we have the damage to follow up? Krako, sort of left here holding the pieces, is going to get their hands on a Void Grub, but going to get taken down by the Akali instead. Bulldog able to fight it out, but going to worry about a Cassante immediately into their face. Sheer is here, but can we close the distance in time? We're trying to buy a little more time, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough as we go down, but that is going to be a dead cube, and what a lot of spaghetti.
For WE. Experimental Hex Plate done for Monkey. It isn't a Hydra.
Opportunity, trying to lock in the Orianna. Shockwave going to come in, but Monkey does not care because with the Akali, that 1-2 punch I was talking about comes in, and now we have the advantage for this Drake you were just talking about, Alk.
Hey, look, you just don't have flash on Bulldog. I think this is not a fight that you want to be taking as LNG, so they're going to have to give up this objective. Maybe LNG try to play on the back end after this. They have Rumble moving over. Cube has teleport.
Yeah, able to get at least a small W in, but I can't imagine we're going to spend too many more resources on this. LNG maybe just trying to bait out a little more than they can, and they did get the TP, just like you were talking about, as Cube comes down just to say hello, but that is also to match Sheer, because Sheer is getting a couple of plates there in response, and I do like this. Turns into a massive back and forward, and just really a waste on a lot of resources.
That was a good find, though. I mean, you got Flash out from Krako. Q played that immaculately. Cancels out. Oh, this might be a solo kill.
Ooh, Shockwave as the Kali, as Garrus able to close things in, and we go for the dive, picking up another kill, and a Kali.
JDG in Stage 2 of Demacia Cup. Super exciting what this team can do now, potentially with a little bit higher ceilings with this rookie AD carry. Scaris, potentially for another solo kill.
Another shockwave, and that just looks like we just saw another replay. I'm going to be honest. That seemed almost exactly how it went the last time for sure.
No flash, no life, and might be another dragon coming on through. Monkey's not quite in the area, but Cube is so damn tanky. He has Merc Treads upgraded, tier 3 by the way, and he also has the Force of Nature. He's completely immovable here between an Alistar and a Rumble. Kars has Teleport and will be able to take the first turret of the game. WE are in such a good position here. And what I want to call into question was...
But I do think that is a note to telling this story. WE just really in a good position to grab this Drake because it's already sitting about half HP. Monkey very, very happy to just go ahead and take this. And it looks like it's going to be a Mountain Soul for them overall, which I've got to imagine is just going to make Karis even scarier.
Oh yeah. We're also having some great HUD bugs here. I'm gonna ignore the fact that we have two top score lines up there.
Just don't look at it too hard.
Demacia Cup. I know, it's really tough because I'm seeing multiple dragon icons. Thankfully, the overlay at the top is just the right shade of black in terms of opacity, so you don't really see too much behind it, but just enough there. It's a bit of a taking the first play. We're seeing that Monkey is obviously dictating a lot of how this game is going from the jungle position, and he's setting up his lanes for success. Obviously, then we see Kars doing that by himself, solo killing the enemy mid twice in a row. And now you're in a position, Otacon is up and available. You have already that is super, or a lot easier to plug in. I would say it's AD carry. Support has a lot of timings where you have to move with your jungle, move with mid, but AD carry in particular...
Activated as Kiana tries to buy a little bit of time. It looks like the exhaust coming in. Karis looking for an angle, looking for that damage.
What?
We're trying to return it, but Krako goes in immediately and just gets punished for it. That's really, really devastating because SantaCon is just waiting to be taken. This should be free for WE, and I don't even think you want to respond as LNG.
Look at the buffer there from Cube. He gets it. Even Kiana's over the wall. He's already put the spell in. The input goes through, and that just turns into another kill. Krako 0 and 3. They're going to teleport Bulldog away to hopefully grab themselves the bot lane tier 1. But let's just take a look at how much experience this WE team's going to get. It's 12-9 in favor of WE for the Soul Pedal.
Karis, but I think everything has absolutely worked out in their favor.
It's really tough now for LNG to find much more. Good use of vision.
Panora in. We're trying to look for a fight once again, but I gotta imagine this should go over really quickly as Karis able to get 1 and 2 kills there, grabbing a double kill, taking down the tank, taking down the cow like they were absolutely nothing, and we can transition that into our third Drake, Alk.
Dragon's just not going to matter in this game, I can tell. Like, yes, they get the soul, but when you look at just how this game has been going, the flow of this one, it has been WE constantly making good picks. I think the vision has been super impressive. And another player that we haven't really talked about for WE is their support. Yao Yao took an entire year off of playing competitive. Last time we saw him was
more of these towers, which could provide a lot of the much-needed gold. But it's going to be hard to do because this Baron's got to be pretty close to gone. Baronori going to get activated once again. Nocturne looking for an angle to go in, but thinking better of it. Choosing a good time, going to lock in on Krako. Krako in trouble. The exhaust coming down, as unfortunately our ultimate hits absolutely nobody. Sivir trying to find the damage. We're only going to find death instead as Cube absolutely picks them off, grabs another kill. WE just not letting up the pressure whatsoever. Karis finding a nice pound of flesh to go for. Bulldog in trouble.
WE taking a free Mountain Soul, and LNG missing their opportunity to be able to find their way into this game. 29.5 minutes is basically the end of this one. 6,000 gold lead here for them, and a Mountain Soul near impossible for LNG to get over this one.
Absolutely, and I've got to admit, the damage on Varus, Krako got to run into a bit of danger as Karis is trying to look for the damage, should be able to take them down solo, but it looks like Rumble's going to be here to try to turn things around. Equalizer coming down. There's going to be 2 Zonias pop there, trying to look for some sort of angle, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen as Karis is able to dish out the damage time and time again, and WE is knocking at mid's door, taking another tower, while every single one of their towers has barely been touched.
Here in this game, WE, they take down the mid-tier 2, they'll grab the Baron, they'll recall, and then the map is their oyster to play around. They have the massive gold lead, they have the experience leads. Like, everything's coming up trumps
really
for
in
them.
the game. Maybe he gets a little CC here and there, but like, how do we follow it up? We don't have the damage on Bulldog right now, unfortunately. We're sitting at 0-4, going to start a fight over here. Karis might actually get taken down there as the Pandora going to get activated, trying to look for the distance. Karis getting close to going down. Krako going for the hunt as the equalizer comes down. We go back in, finally getting to shut down. This might be a little bit of oxygen in the lungs on the other side, but Bulldog left here holding the bag, gonna go down. Sure, we got one kill, but we still have the Baron, and we're knocking at another T2.
We got the shutdown, but at what cost here? Get another turret here for WE. They get 2 kills in trade, and they still have Baron for another minute and a half. Mountain Soul makes this an immountable kind of damage that they have to be able to deal. See how much they have to invest just to get a single one down onto WE. Inhibitor is going to be cracked here. No mid-wave to play for, but maybe they just end the game.
I think they have all the tools to do that. Alistair is up, but what is he going to be able to do here into all of these insane odds? Nocturne trying to lock down Rumble. Unfortunately, not able to find the angle, but we've got these cannon minions just sort of here chipping away at the base. One tower is going to go down. Going to transition over into the T3, and just LNG doesn't have a lot they can do. There's just not a lot they can respond with. Krako looking desperately for some sort of angle to go in and lock this team down, but it's going to be a big ask. Even if we get in there, we might just get taken down. And the turn goes in, and there it is, that turn exactly what I was talking about as the Pandora gets activated, as we just try to lock him down. Buy a little more time there with an ultimate as we fight underneath the tower. Alistair able to buy a little bit of time, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough as Krako ultimately goes down on the other end. Equalizer there on Monkey. Monkey almost going to get taken down. Does indeed go down on the other end, but we're losing more and more members for LNG. This might be an angle to go for as the Zonia gets activated, but Karis still here able to do. There's going to be the shockwave. Lots of back and forward. Cube absolutely able to dish out the damage. Varus doing the exact same thing, and more members for LNG just continue to fall.
The flash used by both of our AD carries, 1xN, will survive. It'll be more gold being picked up by LNG, but it's another turret being... Does a Hex Flash over the wall. Thankfully doesn't get punished by the rest of WE immediately trying to pounce on him. Monkey turns off the light. Cube in the back line.
Krako gonna get isolated as we start a fight over here. There's an absolute cuddle puddle here for this one as we try to lock down and deal a good chunk of damage. Karis able to absolutely rock member after member. There's only 2 left here for the defense, and we're trying to go for the whole enchilada. Grabbing another one, and that is gonna be a full ace for the other side. Double kill for Karis, and it doesn't matter because game number 1 is gonna be over. WE taking this first point, taking the Nexus.
Wow, that was a massive...
for this early phase right up until the team fight phase, Elk.
I really want to see WE play, like, it's the way that their composition is going to work on the same team, but regardless, they're going to take away this and hopefully get some good pressure down on this side of the map. Getting invades onto Monkey, again, the most pivotal part of this composition and team, is a good way to put them on the back foot. What are we doing?
Already starting off with a Bard stun as Krako has to go over the wall. Damage already coming in as Monkey starts off strong. Actually, about, you know.
He hits the recall button, he teleports back in, he'll get this wave and the next one. Monkey might even get invaded upon here as 1xN and Missing make their way. They know he has no flash on Monkey.
Make a collapse. Monkey in trouble, gonna get knocked back, and this is that tempo to maybe get their hands on this Drake, and we're gonna look for a fight over here between Krako and, of course, Monkey. Krako goes in, dealing a good chunk of damage to Monkey as we go down about half HP. There is going to be the ultimate for Mbessa, but unfortunately not a whole bunch going to happen. Talia there to try to cut off the other side, looking for an angle here on Monkey, but most importantly try to lock down the Yanara as we do get taken down. Karis going to fall to pieces.
LNG and something that, even with the level 1, which I was very sad and disappointed with, I kind of already mentally getting ready for LNG to continue their losing ways.
Like I said, adding to this pressure and just never letting up is kind of what WE did to them, and it looks like we're sort of returning the favor. Cube looking for an angle to go in. There's going to be the ultimate trying to lock them down. We are exactly going to do that. Able to do a good chunk of damage. Karis able to unfortunately run into the majority of the team. Is turning a 2v2 fight there on the bottom as Sheer is looking for a kill, is looking for more and more. Bulldog in trouble. Getting the shutdown will be super great for the other end. We try to get the knockup. We do eventually get the kill as Yanara trying to buy a little bit of spacing and distance. WE able to take down member after member. Azir is still up. We're looking for the angle. Okay, what a solid Ezreal ultimate right there, picking up a double kill. Absolutely frustrating.
Yeah, he's going to be late. Talia has to use ult if they want to get into this spot right now. This is a dragon going over. This was a very tight timer for WE to find, and if they make this punish on a monkey, he can still flash if he needs it.
Talia having to blow a flash in order to get out of that, but I don't blame them whatsoever. And for the most part, other than one summoner ability down, we take those. Nice little Drake there for WE. Doesn't bode particularly well for LNG, losing that, but it's not over just quite yet. Just one Drake is not going to turn the game around in WE's favor, and we're looking for a gank right now, trying to lock him down underneath the tower as Krako goes in, activating the Crescent Guard. Another one from Ezreal coming in, but unfortunately, it's just not going to matter. More and more going down. WE in trouble. This fight still underneath tower as Shearer looking for the damage, taking down the Rise. We're going to get 3 kills in a tower. That's a little devastating for WE.
Very punishing by the way that Cube ended up teleporting back to this top wave. Sheer moved for the dragon, and Malphite was nowhere in that fight to be seen. Now Talia gets to move. She'll pick up this wave, and LNG are just making all the right plays here in this area. Braum's also waiting. Monkey's going to come here to just pick up this mini wave, make sure that someone's getting this golden experience. Bard's on this side, does have ultimate available.
There's going to be the Tempered Fate coming down. Redemption on the other end, looking to
oh my god,
tower.
Krako.
Tower is indeed going to go down. We're able to get at least one stun. Cube is here looking for, unfortunately, he does not have the ultimate. There is going to be Bessa going in. Monkey able to pick up a kill. Things are not looking good for LNG. They don't have the rest of the team here, and the response time for WE is too powerful as we pick up another kill. Ezreal looking for another cross-the-map snipe, but unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough as Monkey picks up a triple kill.
3 kills to this Ambessa, and all of that gold going straight into his pocket. He outplays on such fine margins. Also, Krako doesn't die there, I'm pretty sure, because the tower dies and loses the fortification or the heating up buff. Oh my god, About almost gets outplayed. Oh my god, he dies to red buff there. Also now being missing from both of our AD carries, and guess what? One of these teams has a Malphite.
Oh, and Bulldog goes down right beforehand, and we go into an immediate dramatic...
They'll get it afterwards. They'll be able to push them off of this. Dragon spawns in 20. They need to spend some of this gold for it to be worth it. Rise is going to be sitting on the bottom side. Thankfully for Bulldog, he disconnected. He didn't lose his flash. He'll have to probably teleport for this play. That's pretty expensive as well.
Now looking at the clock, that looks like the tower does go down ultimately there on the... Okay, we got another last second pause. I was worried for a minute there. We're going to try to match the Malphite as Cube is able to take the tower. So even though we don't lock down the Drake, we're able to get our hands at least on some sort of objective.
Malphite getting 300 gold feels good. Zahen's going to be able to match alongside the bottom lane, help push out that wave. So Karis Bao was late to this, but they're on separate sides. Cube has no ultimate. We're never contesting this. WE, I think the look for Bulldog was an okay idea, but they lost control of the mid lane. Zahen's actually just making a very short distance TP to get him back in the mid lane, and this gives a position here for WE to look.
Redemption coming down, and we're looking for a fight. We might get the autocon. We might cost us our lives.
Oh!
There it is. And Bessa going in. We're trying to lock him down, but Monkey unfortunately got to pick up CC after CC as the Crescent Guard gets activated. LNG looking for the damage. LNG looking to continue to turn this around. They got the autocon, and now they're able to grab these fights as we get a 3-man Tempered Fate, but it just does not matter as 1xN finishes his 1v1, looking for another kill on Bard as we go in. Rise on the run, and I think Bard might be the only one that makes it out of this carnage.
Oh, WE, why are we going for the fight? We could have just given up the autocon. It's a few flower petals going over. Karis is going to die. He loses his flash. The same could be said for most of his team members there. And Yao Yao, I don't know what we're waiting for with you like this Malphite. theoretically should be one of the best picks for them, but they've just not been able to make it work.
That Sheer is sitting at a 4-0 lead, which is absolutely frightening. Truly being a raid boss right now, looking for a fight right now. Speaking of on Sheer, the rune going down, locking them down, but can we able to turn this around? Can we do 1v5? I don't think we can. We should still have a passive. No, we get taken down by Monkey. That's really unfortunate, and that does tie up our score 12-12. Things looking a little bit better for WE.
That's so necessary for WE. Not swept away by WE. There's one in that banana brush that we kind of see now in favor of LNG. And they still have access to the scuttle. Oh, Cube gets level 16 on this wave. That's massive. Third point and ult is pretty big. Just for the cooldown. Yao Yao should be able to escape. Almost gets out. That's his flash, but there's no Glacial Fissure now for the Braum.
Once again, Ezreal just throwing out those ultimates like they're rated E for everyone over and over, and there's no reason not to. The cooldown is so tiny. In fact, it's already pretty close to already up. Very, very similar to Ashe in that regard. So it's nice to see Temper Fate coming down, locking down 1x in. This is a good opportunity as Malphite goes in, closing the distance. Unfortunately, hitting a big whole bunch of nothing. Exhaust coming down back and forward, about going to get isolated just a little bit, but it does finally wear off on the other end. We're immediately going to go back in. Sheer trying to close the distance. Bard trying to help out, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be in time. Rise trying to escape, but it's just not going to happen as we pick up a kill after kill for LNG. Ezreal trying to do it again, missing, but they are able to pick up plenty of towers in return.
Oh, that might just be the end of the game. They've got 2 grubs, and there's only a Malphite and a Bard to save them. LNG fought back here in this game, an early invade that goes awry, but just strong fundamentals playing around the map and punishing WE.
Cube going in, unfortunately going to get taken down, and this indeed is going to be the end of game number 2 between LNG and WE.
I don't want to say they have a lack of damage here, but with how Jace usually tends to operate, I would say that Cube cannot answer on the other side of the map. We're seeing a play towards the bottom side as Monkey goes on a 1xm, but there's no follow-up here. What is he doing?
Dying. That's what he's doing, because that's exactly what happened. Double Jace happened, but
from mid lane.
WE not in the greatest spot as Bulldog comes in looking for their knockups and their taunt. This should be a dead Nautilus, which means we can transition this easily into a couple of Void Grubs.
Now LNG, are they going to really get their cake and eat it too? If they find this pick onto Monkey and onto Sion, they can grab Dragon after.
Starting to fight on the Rumble. Rumble does indeed go down as Sion provide a lot of spacing here for Monkey, and we're just sort of allowed to get this kill for free without really a whole bunch of response, missing at least throwing a headbutt in there, just saying, something. Galio into the... Okay, I thought we were going to get a kill over there. Monkey going to get turned around on immediately, really suffering that bit of gold difference as Krako tries to close in the distance, looking for the kill. Still can go either way. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. There it is, Krako absolutely chunking the other side as most of WE just sort of gets caught here inside the jungle, but about looking for an angle, trying to lock down Krako. This would be a nice shutdown on the Varus, and he does indeed get it, so at least we're able to get our hands on something. 3 gold being about the exact same thing, and then across the board it looks like everything's pretty even. We're going for another, or at least, is that the first Drake? I think that's our first Drake of the game at about 12 minutes, so a very, very late Drake. Oh, man, look at the return right there on Krako. Heroic entrance going to come in. Unfortunately, not able to get anyone. Monkey in a little bit of trouble as Krako goes in for the distance. The taunt going to come in, locking down Varus #1. As Sion comes in from downtown, locking down, missing. The exhaust going to come on top of the Sion, trying to lock him down, but this should be a dead cow. Yes, indeed. He buys time for his team. Now, Rumble here trying to pick up a little bit of pieces there with a mop, but look, Karis going in, looking for the damage. Karis looking for another kill as Krako goes down. This Akali is absolutely phenomenal. Can we do it again? Can we get Sheer? It's going to be hard. That's 2 to go into. Cube is here looking for a knock up there. And Varus by a little more time here for Karis, but it doesn't matter as we flash forward, pick up a kill, and trade our life to take down the mid lane.
No possibility for them to contest. 1xn does teleport back into the mid lane, and Sheer can answer. We're seeing both the Akali and the Rumble trying to figure out when and where they can teleport in right now. Karis is late.
Going in. Heroic entrance, unfortunately hitting absolutely no one. That's not what you want to see. We're going to lock down Yao, taking a good chunk of damage, but unfortunately able to stay alive as Galio gets caught there by a hook. Going to get taken down, fall to pieces. Bulldog, everybody's starting to melt now at this point with double Jace. It's absolute shenanigans as Krako goes in, but gets taken down by Varus once again. Cube left here holding the pieces, and it is indeed going to go down. LNG looking in top form as Sion goes down.
Oh my god. I was wondering when that waiting arms of his team.
We're going to go from replay into at least a little bit of fight over here. I believe Missing went down. I don't think that's going to be another down for that side. And so we're going to be able to turn this into a Drake for WE. And that's going to be really, really important. Each one of these objectives is going to be important for... I've got to imagine their mental and their morale at this point. Because this game is... this series, I guess I say, is starting to drag on overall. And I think LNG might have been going into this... or so WE might have been going into this expecting to sort of 2-0 LNG. It's hard to know their mental for sure. But they're giving a lot of trouble. There's going to be a chain of corruption going down for LNG's in, so that's going to be an important tool no longer in their wheelhouse.
Bottom lane tier 1. They still have to spend their gold and all.
I feel like that's maybe one of their primary advantages is just lean into, and we're still trying to find that positioning. The vision score is going to be so important leading up to this objective because, you know, if we do win this fight, we can turn this into 2 objectives. The equalizer coming down on Cube. Cube just refusing to take damage whatsoever. Missing, able to provide a lot of spacing, pushing Cube directly into the other side. Sion finally going down. That's going to be the kill. That's going to be the number advantage that we need for LNG. WE looking in not
continue to control the mid lane, but now we're NA-ramming, guys. Now we're just sitting around. We're not really kind of pulling the trigger on anything. There's no ultimates from Cube. Here we go.
Yao going in finally, but he's immediately going to get taken down for his troubles, and that was actually a 4v5. That's really unfortunate. Yao thought they were getting the advantage for their team, but they lost it immediately. That is absolutely devastating, and now the Drake might be the price.
Yeah, they go immediately towards mid lane. There's no chains of corruption. That was a big miss from About as well. No mid turret, and you still lose a dragon, and you lose your support's life. WE, they've lacked some of that polish now coming on through, and it's LNG who control the entirety of the river with Otacon in tow.
And once again, we're maintaining the tempo on LNG, but we've seen how quickly that can turn around. Still no advantage. Reset here for WE. Sion is here. Karis is here. But I got to imagine this Autocon's going to die so quickly.
Yeah, we're just going mid. See them right now. They're moving into mid-tier 1, taking control of the bottom side jungle. Smart. It allows for them to continue to play on this wave. Maybe they look for a turn onto this Gallia. Oh, missing.
Missing.
Majority of his health. Uh-oh.
So, getting so close. No way we live from that. Flash over the wall. The cow so far out of the danger, at least for the current moments, but we could be pulled directly back in. Speaking of pulled back in, massive hook pulling in the Galio, absolutely nuking him, and not a rod of return from LNG. Missing, having to blow everything before that, probably got Bulldog killed. And make things a little bit more definitive. Missing, unfortunately taking so much damage, and it looks like this one's going to turn into a Drake for WE.
Wow. This was what we saw in game number 1. Missing just takes a little bit too much damage before. Alright, guys. If LNG win, it's not because of items, it's because their champions are just too damn OP. Alright. Cube, you have a lot of armor here, and the flash to block it.
No. Flash, yeah, we're just down. There's nothing we can do. There's the numbers advantage right before the Baron is up. There's going to be dead Sion, fake alive Sion for the current moment. Trying to close it. Kind of really struggle there with that one. Position, but taking so much damage from the poke. This poke is just absolutely insane. Jace with the Varus are absolutely crazy.
Wait a minute.
Missing go.
接腐败锁链，兰博大招撒的一般啊，补了个小炮，布道哥开精神拖时间，孙武还挂上了，希尔也开精神，有点帅，哎，布道哥操作了，有点上头了，包的，而且这个一没撒好，全是
WE losing out on the fight. Bulldog moves forward. Kroko moves forward. Karis thought he had the flank, but it was just not enough. They did not have the spells to make it happen. These two Jaces are too damn powerful at this point. And LNG, they win the team fight, and so they'll move forward towards the Baron. Monkey sitting in the wings. He's sending accelerated shock blast, but one of the problems with this lethality build is you don't have enough ability haste. Oh, 1xN almost gets caught. It's a flash away. Sion's gonna move forward. Isn't able to find all that much. Cube just goes down for free, and this is now gonna be a Baron at half.
Absolutely, Baron sitting at half a cube. It's absolutely melted. Damage.
Well, look, Sion's perfect for that, and especially in these mirror matchups, it's kind of what you're able to do. Now, oh man, this is so tough. Why are we contesting for this? Oh my god.
No, Monkey going down inside his own jungle. Equalizer coming down as Missing takes a good chunk of that damage, but I don't think they care as we're able to do the Chains of Corruption and pick up another support. These supports just feel like they're made out of butter.
There's just no tank stats. We're not seeing like lock.
Building up to that Infernal Soul is going to be so important, and we've already seen the insane amount of poke we have before that as 1xN almost gets taken down, but it looks like we had the Change of Corruption and a couple other things. Buying plenty of distance, Cube getting absolutely melted by 1xN, Missing, having to blow their ultimate, but it's already going to be down. We're going to get at least one Q on Cube as the rest of the team manages to go in for WE, taking them down. Double kill on the Galio. Things are not looking good for WE as member after member goes down, leaving Karis the only one to hold the bag.
That might just be the end of the game. I mean, Missing has teleport, and this is 3 grubs and a very fed Jace. That turret is paper mache at this point. That could be, yeah, I think this is the end. 35 seconds before multiple members of WE are back, and LNG are going to secure first place in Group B.
Absolutely. Missing coming in with that TP, and I can't imagine at this point there's anything they can do to turn it around other than maybe disconnect the router of their opponents. Karis going in, trying to buy some time there with the Zonias, able to at least do a little bit of juking, but at what cost for sure? Heroic's entrance is going to get interrupted, but it does not matter as the Nexus gets targeted. We're trying to pad our stats, though, and pick up a couple kills. Nexus is indeed going to go down to L.